listen, I see people in the chat. They're getting fussy at me. They're like, DJs, talk to us about research particles. Okay, fine.
What else is new?
Okay, fine. There's a couple of things we're going to look at tonight. So if you haven't synced up your SPX Club, I'm going to recommend that you do that. Okay? Because we're going to be looking at SPX Club a little bit tonight. We're also going to be looking at the amazing Jules and Blue masterpiece, the Mirror Universe Google Sheet. Okay? We're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight as well. First, I want to talk to you about the importance of each of these versions of currency. We've got different currencies. We've got the common, we got the uncommon, we got the rare and epic and premium mirror dust, okay? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the mirror dust. We're talking about the stuff that we are using on the researches that are inside the mirror tree. Now, we can see in the beginning that we got the common stuff, that we've got the uncommon stuff. Then there's the rare stuff. Then we see epic stuff. Then we see premium stuff. Lots of stuff. Jules, I would like to start with the total accumulations of the mirror dust needed. When we're talking about the lifespan of this, what do we need in order to progress through this research tree?
One of the things that I actually like about this research tree is that it actually has these bands. There's the G4 band, the G5 band, and then the G6 band of researches. So really for you as a player, how long do you expect to be within these bands? Like if you're G4 now, you're like, G6 is years away. I'm not going to worry about the G6 research. Then you're really only looking about like what's going to cost in total to finish out G4, maybe even the G5 research when I get there.
Now, there's 4 different currencies that we're focused on here: common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And as Jules was mentioning, each of these currencies kind of has a band.
These are the total research costs that your band has unlocked.
Okay, so if we're looking at G4, Ops 40, and that's requiring Ops 40, and I presume you mean all the way 40 through 50, right? All the researches that you can do anywhere between Ops 40 and Ops 50 is what we're going to consider grade 4, right? So if we look at all those different researches that we are looking at a total, and these are raw costs. We're going to start with the raw cost. 340,000 common dust, 81,000 uncommon dust, 30,000 roughly rare dust, and 25,000 epic dust. All right. I want to focus in on the common dust piece for a second. 340,000. Holy smokes. Okay. Now,
that's a lot.
I also want to, by the same token, all right, do this side-by-side comparison, which is the amount of currency that is going to be needed with the Prime. Now, please don't misunderstand. I'm not going to come in here and promote the Prime, but of all the stuff that there is to spend on this month that I am grumpy with, this one is not one of them. This one actually feels pretty good. We can save over 60,000 common mirror dust. Now, real quick, how many are you guys getting in a daily refine? We can know that, by the way. Let's take a look at the refinery chart. It's in the same Google Sheet. What's your level of research on the refinery? Is it level 4? Is it level 2? Is it level 7? Okay. Jules, just out of curiosity, what's your ops again? Remind the good people.
58.
58. You whale. How far did you take your refinery? What level is your refinery right now?
Level 8.
Yours is level 8 refinery, which means your research, by the way, is 7. Correct?
Correct. Yep. So I'm maxed for my ops. I do want to say, just right off the bat, if you are a G5 player and you can't double pull the level 5 through 8, which is the G5 range of refineries, still go there and single pull, because you'll still get more from single pulling a level 8 refinery than you will double pulling a level 4. So it just makes sense to go up even if you cannot do the double pulls, you'll still get more payout of both liquid D and of the dust.
That's absolutely true. Let's take a look. A single pull is 5,100 raw D. 20,000 or 19,500 on a double pull. Out of each of those pulls, you're going to get 300 liquid D, guaranteed. Now, you know what Mr. Tiger did with this refinery? You know why this refinery actually gets mostly thumbs up for me. There is reward for progression, because what happens if I do a double pull at level 4 and I get 600 liquid D? If I go to level 5 and I cannot do a double pull anymore, how much does a single pull get me? 650. Which means a single pull is still better than a double pull of the round before it. That doesn't exist for every level. That's just on the generational breaks. But I might point out, if you can do 42,000 in raw D, you can probably do 50,000 in raw D. Right? The difference between 42,000 and 50,000 is a handful of hostiles, maybe 5 or 6. Does that matter on a singular run? Maybe. The hostiles themselves also ramp up significantly in what they drop. Take a look at the 47 uncommon, which is going to drop 50 raw D.
But this is also where the mining strategy may actually make sense depending on what type of player you are. So for instance, if you are a G5 player, but you have a high tier G4 miner, well, you may actually have a strong enough mining laser and take up that mining research all the way up. You could actually reach and achieve your D goals there instead of having to hit the hostiles.
That's not to say that that is all that I'm focused on here. I am also focused on the mirror dust, which means then we're going to come into the refinery and we're going to come and pull our chest, our A chest and our D chest. And by the way, what I'm really focused on out of here is indeed the refined liquid D, because then I'm going to come down into the liquid D store. And I mentioned this the other day. There are only 2 things that I believe most players should be focused on right now. Early in this arc, early in this loop, there's only 2 bundles you should be pulling. One is for mirror dust. The second is for rift keys. That's it. Don't worry about the forbidden tech. Don't worry about the officers. Don't worry about the resources. Those are the end game. Those are the overflow mechanics. Right now, what we're looking for are the things that are going to propel us through this loop. That's going to be dust and keys. What I want to specifically focus on tonight is the dust. Ops 48. When we do a single chest of the liquid D refinery, we are going to pull anywhere between 100 and 1,000 common dust per pull, by the way. Don't know if you can do singles or doubles, but per pull. We're also looking at anywhere between 60 and 600 uncommon, 36 and 360 rare, and 26 and 230 epic. Now, I'm not that worried about epic, rare, or even uncommon today, because I want to take you back to your tree. How many common particles are required as compared to uncommon, rare, and epic? 340,000 common particles are needed to complete the tree, and that's for G4. Guess what, G5? You need 827,000. And G6, holy crap, 1.5 million. Shiz says, so trade down? You bet your ass. Common is what's needed right now. Go back to your tree. How many columns of research are needed before you even touch an uncommon node?
You actually have to do all of the common ones level 1 before you can touch an uncommon.
That's daggone right. And I might point out that some of the better researches in the tree exist within common dust. I love what Mr. Tiger did with this research tree, by the way. Epic to rare, then rare to uncommon, then uncommon to common. Okay? This is what you got. I'll actually put a picture of the refinery in the graphics room. These are the only 3 trade downs you got. That's right, Swimbot. You're with me. I'd vote trade down until all uncommon nodes are uncovered. You know what? This is what I love about this tree, and I think Mr. Tiger did it on purpose. This tree is actually super valuable right up front. First of all, you got the mirror refinery advancement. We've talked about that one. That's very important, right, Jules? Super duper important. What is next on the level of importance? Common, mirror, hostile, loot.
Oh, yeah.
Loot, because even Mr. Tiger said that when this research is maxed out, you are going to earn just as much from hostiles as you're going to get from the chests. And by the way, we proved that.
Experience.
That's right.
Sure
we
did.
proved
We
that
looked at
Saturday on the Whale Cam. Saturday, during our 24-hour Twitch extravaganza, we tunneled Griffin's game through our viewers. All right, you guys got to watch Griffin play, not just me, but Griffin. And he was actually getting more. K92 says, I'm filling my cargo in 4 minutes, but I do keep grinding for the boxes. How much cargo can you fill in 4 minutes? Like, how much cargo are you taking home? Million? 500,000? 200,000? 2.4 million. Now, granted, he's a level 70 player, but he's already at the other end of the spectrum. He is showing you what you have to look forward to.
You know what's great about the loot one? What do you
that?
think the ops requirement for the max level is?
I don't know, Jules. Why don't you tell me?
40.
What?
You can max that research all the way to 400% loot bonus at ops 40.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tiger. Dragon Keeper says trading down is bad. I disagree. It always has been. It always has been. I agree. But in this particular case, it's not. Because I need so daggone much. If we were doing this without the Prime, okay? Common, I need 343 days worth of pulls to do all the common. By the way, this is for G4. This is just G4. But only 138 days worth of pulls to feed the uncommon researches, which means I have literally 200 days worth of spare uncommon materials. Those uncommon materials can be traded down. I'm going to have 220 days of spare rare materials. I'll be able to trade that down. I'm going to have 120 days of spare epic materials. That can be traded down. I still have hundreds of days to spare in overflow of my uncommon, rare, and epic materials. So,
what do you mean everything?
I took my epics, traded them to rare. Then I took all my rares, traded them to uncommon. Then I took all of my uncommon and traded them all to common, and then spent every single one.
Okay, disclaimer, Griffin. We probably need to put a disclaimer in this video or in this pod that DJ likes to spend recklessly. So
Whoa. Hang on a second.
True. These are factual statements.
That's a factual statement. However, let me ask real quick before you say that this is not the right way to do it. With all of the materials that I traded down today, every single one of them, I still didn't have enough common to go through and finish the entire first part of the tree. But you know what I was able to do?
You were able to max out that hostile loot, weren't you?
Yep, and I took my station resource efficiency all the way to level 8, which is 80%. That's basically like having a permanent exocomp now. All right. And I took Mirror Refinery all the way to level 7, which means I have the level 8 Refinery now. This is how you jumpstart yourself in this loop. And by the way, for everybody out there who's saying you're going to struggle with the raw D, that may be possible. But I'm going to struggle far less now that I've got a 400% loot bonus on my ship.
It is game changing. If you're wanting to double pull and you don't think you'll ever be able to, this is how you get double pulls done. You've got to max that research now.
I agree.
Don't wait. Get it done.